Hello artists, my name is Thomas, welcome back to the channel. And do I have solutions for you? So I actually just got back from China not too long ago, so I'm kind of back now, got sick, settled in, moved house, and now I'm finally kind of bringing together this new space for me to get back to work. So this is kind of a perfect video to make, to kind of talk about how do you get back to work, how do you get back into that workflow. What do you do even if you're feeling very uninspired or completely demotivated or do not want to work? The first thing that you need to know is that motivation is a myth. I speak about kind of motivation all the time, and kind of sometimes you need to ask yourself that honest question, whether it be like, am I doing it because I'm lazy, insecure, or if I don't actually like the subject? That's a kind of another side note. But when it comes to motivation, you don't really want to focus on motivation. You want to focus on the systems that are allowing you or helping you produce more work. Now, when I say system, I literally mean that things you set up around you in your environment, or the things that you do, which helps you produce work. So regardless of whether you are happy, sad, it's rainy outside, it's sunny outside, inside or outside, you've got all these things in place where once you start that process, it will produce work regardless of how you are feeling. So obviously everyone has their own individual context, and you need to ask yourself, like, look around you and think about, what is it, the things that are stopping you from doing work or moving you away from work, and what are the things that are bringing you closer to doing work? These are things you need to think about on a personal level. Once you've kind of worked out possibly what's distracting you, making you feel up or down or whatever, the next thing you need to do is think about, look for something to inspire you or start the process, or something that you can start building a system around or from. So this is basically a concept or an idea or an artist that you go and look at. You kind of collect something from that subject or concept or artist, and then you can build a process from that which starts to produce work. I feel like I'm speaking in a very generic way, so I'm going to give some specific examples now. So I'm going to explain kind of what processes can you kind of create, say, from looking at another artist's work. So say you do have an Instagram artist that whose work you have absolutely fallen in love with. What you could do is take kind of 5 of their maybe favorite works that you have seen recently while scrolling through that social media, and then just take 5 of them, cut out different elements of it, and create a brand new collage or piece of work from those colors, textures, whatever it is that you enjoyed from their work. I'm not saying just go out and just constantly create abstract collages from everything, but what I'm saying is look at a subject, choose a way to engage with it, and just do that thing regardless of whether it produces something good, aesthetically pleasing, or pleasing to your soul, or something that isn't so pleasing to your soul. What you'll find is, regardless of how good you might think it is, as you start engaging with that subject or that work, more ideas are going to come to you. And when those ideas come, you don't want to let them go. You want to have something that starts capturing those ideas. And then when you start engaging with those new ideas, more ideas are going to come, and it's kind of like a snowball effect. And if the ideas don't come, then possibly expose yourself to more subjects, artists, or something that's going to, interest you. Ideally, you want to kind of chase things that you enjoy, because when you enjoy doing it, you will just naturally grow more ideas, can I say that? More ideas will grow out of it. I can say that. So just as a side note, before I give you 2 more processes, you should also be focusing on exercising, eating well, sleeping well, and countering any negative narratives that you have in here, because I find that if any of those things are like really bad for myself, my work goes out the window. So sometimes it's not about that system or process, but the physical kind of state you're in as well. So think about that too. So one of the things that I do with my own artistic practice is I have like a huge archive of images that I have found inspiring or something that I like the texture from, the composition from. It can be anything ranging from a random photographer taking a photo on holiday and uploading it to Flickr, to random Google images, to textures I have found looking good on Instagram, but I have an archive of all of these things that I can use in digital collage to obviously change and evolve. And then on top of that, I will then work on top with digital paint. I guess you'd call it digital paint, although that sounds a bit weird coming out of my mouth now. But the digital paint for me kind of just brings it all together and kind of brings it to more of a complete piece. But what this does for me is I've got used to this process, so I kind of fall back on it whenever I want to plan a painting or start producing a new series of work, because it produces imagery so quickly. I don't have to obviously use up materials, it's all in a digital sense. I can change colors and whip everything together so quickly because I know that once I produce a lot of imagery, sometimes I will look at them the next day and I'll be like, this is really bad, this is really bad, this one's good, I can make this into a painting. So I have that kind of process that I fall back on all the time, and it's really good to work out kind of what's good for you in your own practice. And yeah, that's now let's move on to the last one. Finally, another idea, I guess, off the top of my head would be, say you're on the more realism side of things. I know lots of people are into realism nowadays, especially on social media. So say you are inspired by a particular classical painter or a Renaissance piece. Take elements of those paintings, compositions, whatever it is you're looking at, or take the full thing and try and reenact it in the environment that you are in. So say there is a portrait painting like with this pose, kind of like an Iron Man pose. Do that yourself and then try to obviously then pay attention to the colors that they've used, the lighting or whatnot. Do you want to replicate that? Do you not want to replicate that? Do you want to do your own kind of thing? But once again, this is a process. This is not I'm not describing how to produce a final piece, but just a way to get your kind of thoughts thinking, your pencil rolling, your paintbrush brushing, whatever you want to describe it as. Or, create landscapes with your bed sheets or something. I don't know, you guys get creative. I'm sure some of you guys have better ideas than me when it comes to a lot of contexts. So I hope this video has given a little bit of insight on what to do, I guess, if you're just feeling stuck when it comes to your work. A lot of the time it's to do with environment and the systems around you that stop or help you do things. So really try and think about kind of what is it that gets you going. Choose just a process to start rolling with, and then it's not about motivation. Don't wait to feel motivated. Don't wait to feel inspired. Just be like, okay, how can I just start work? Because the motivation and the inspiration the motivation starts, maybe inspiring. You could probably just go to the right places on the internet and be like, wow, that artist is cool, but the motivation that builds actually when you're working. It's not when you start working and you start getting these ideas and you're actually doing stuff, you feel more motivated to do other things. So is motivation a myth? Did I just contradict myself in a video? I don't know. Just do work. That's basically the message. I gave you some ideas of how to do work. Just go do it. Refining your system will refine your practice. And with that, you can comment if you have any more questions in the comment section of the video, or DM me on Instagram. I hope you enjoyed the B-roll at the beginning of this video. I'm kind of trying to get a little bit better with my camera as I come to start now doing my own paintings. I'm finally getting back to painting soon. I'm so excited. My digital pieces have started, so follow me on Instagram if you haven't already. And here is my awkward goodbye.